You believe you are a free agent operating in the present moment. You believe that when you look at a woman, a business opportunity, or a threat, you are assessing the data in front of you. This is a hallucination. You are not living in the present. You are living in a biological echo chamber. Every thought you have is a delayed reaction, a reflex triggered by a version of yourself that ceased to exist years ago. You are not the captain of your vessel. You are the autopilot, blindly executing code written during your weakest moments. The human brain is not designed for truth. It is not designed for happiness, and it is certainly not designed for sovereignty. It is designed for one thing: efficient survival. To your primitive mind, the past is the only safe data set. Even if your past was miserable, even if it was filled with humiliation and defeat, your brain categorizes it as safe for one simple reason: you survived it. This is the mechanism of your imprisonment. Your brain constantly overlays the template of the past onto the reality of the now. When you hesitate to speak, that is not prudence. That is a ghost from a decade ago, remembering a time you were silenced. When you sabotage a relationship, that is not a choice. That is. You believe you are a free agent operating in the present moment. You believe that when you look at a woman, a business opportunity, or a threat, you are assessing the data in front of you. This is a hallucination. You are not living in the present. You are living in a biological echo chamber. Every thought you have is a delayed reaction, a reflex triggered by a version of yourself that ceased to exist years ago. You are not the captain of your vessel. You are the autopilot, blindly executing code written during your weakest moments. The human brain is not designed for truth. It is not designed for happiness, and it is certainly not designed for sovereignty. It is designed for one thing: efficient survival. To your primitive mind, the past is the only safe data set. Even if your past was miserable, even if it was filled with humiliation and defeat, your brain categorizes it as safe for one simple reason: you survived it. This is the mechanism of your imprisonment. Your brain constantly overlays the template of the past onto the reality of the now. When you hesitate to speak, that is not prudence. That is a ghost from a decade ago, remembering a time you were silenced. When you sabotage a relationship, that is not a choice. That is a subroutine executing a script of abandonment that was written before you hit puberty. You are walking through life facing backward. Consider the absolute horror of this state. You are reacting to stimuli that are no longer there. You are flinching at shadows cast by buildings that have already burned down. You call this your personality. You say, "I am just an introverted person," or "I am just careful." False. You are calcified. What you call your personality is nothing more than a collection of scar tissue and defense mechanisms that have outlived their usefulness. You have become a museum curator of your own history, dusting off old traumas and placing them behind glass, worshiping them as if they are the sum total of your identity. Society tells you to honor your past or heal your inner child. This is slave morality. It keeps you weak. It encourages you to cuddle the very parasite that is draining your vitality. By focusing on the past, by analyzing it, by talking about it, you are feeding it energy. You are reinforcing the neural architecture that keeps you trapped in the chronological prison. A sovereign man does not honor the past. He learns from it, extracts the data, and then incinerates the rest. But you are dragging a corpse behind you, wondering why you cannot run faster. The world rewards those who operate in real time. Power belongs to the man who sees reality as it is, not as it reminds him of what it was.
Every second you spend filtering the present through the lens of the past is a second where you are vulnerable. You are predictable. Because you are running old software, you are easily manipulated by anyone who bothers to study your history. You are a deterministic machine. Input A, current stress, triggers output B, past coping mechanism. There is no you in that equation. There is only a biological robot executing a legacy command. Until you understand that your brain is actively conspiring to keep you in the familiar L of yesterday rather than the unknown potential of tomorrow, you are not alive. You are merely haunting your own existence. You are trapped in a loop, and the walls are getting thicker.
You treat your thoughts as if they are ephemeral, mist that vanishes once the moment passes. This is a fatal strategic error. Every thought you entertain is a physical construction project within your skull. We must strip away the mysticism of mind and look at the wetware. The biology of your enslavement is simple, brutal, and efficient. Your brain operates on the principle of energy conservation. It is a lazy, resource-hoarding organ. It does not want to forge a new path through the dense jungle of the unknown. That requires calories, focus, and metabolic effort. It prefers the paved highway. It prefers the path of least resistance. This is the biological law. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you replay a memory of failure, every time you ruminate on a betrayal, every time you indulge in the nostalgia of a lost era, you are firing a specific sequence of neurons. With every repetition, your brain wraps these connections in myelin, a fatty substance that acts as insulation. Think of myelin as paving the road. The more you obsess over the past, the thicker this insulation becomes, and the faster the electrical signal travels. You are not remembering. You are physically upgrading the infrastructure for misery. You are building a superhighway that leads directly to your past self. Over time, this becomes neural calcification. The topography of your brain physically changes to accommodate your obsession. It becomes physically difficult to think a new thought. The electrical signals of your consciousness naturally flow down the deepest, widest channels, the ones you have spent years digging with your regret and analysis. To think about the future requires you to fight against your own biological current. To think about the past requires zero effort. It is gravity. But the trap goes deeper than electricity. It is chemical. Your body is the subconscious mind. When you dwell on the past, your brain signals the release of specific peptides and hormones matches that emotional state. Cortisol, adrenaline, the heavy, sinking chemistry of grief or rage. Here is the horror. Your cells have developed receptor sites specifically for these chemicals. You have become physiologically addicted to your own history. You claim you want to move on. You claim you want to be happy or successful. But when you attempt to step into a new identity, your body goes into withdrawal. It starves for the familiar chemical cocktail of your past trauma. It screams for the cortisol fix. This is why you self-sabotage. When things are going well, when the future looks bright, your body feels wrong. It feels unfamiliar. The chemical equilibrium is off. So your subconscious generates a crisis, or triggers a memory, or picks a fight just to flood your system with the familiar chemicals of the past. You destroy the present to get your fix of the past. You are not fighting a memory. You are fighting a physiological addiction that is as potent as heroin. Your brain has calcified around your history, turning you into a statue made of flesh. You are a biological machine optimized for looking backward.
The structure of your mind has shaped itself to ensure that the past is not just a memory, but the only reality your brain can efficiently process. You are not thinking. You are reacting to a chemical dependency and traveling down a neural rut so deep that you cannot see over the edge. You are literally hardwired for regression.
You think your suffering is unique. You think your specific brand of stagnation is a complex, nuanced tragedy. It is not. It is a cliché. When a mind collapses under the weight of its own history, it doesn't break in random ways. It breaks along specific fault lines. You have devolved into a predictable archetype, a caricature of a man playing out a script written by his own damage. Identify yourself among the dead. 1. The historian. This is the intellectual coward's archetype. The historian believes that if he can just understand the past perfectly, he can be free of it. He treats his trauma like a crime scene that needs to be solved. He spends years analyzing the why. Why did she leave? Why did I fail? What was the root cause? He consumes content, reads books, and watches videos, convincing himself this is work. It is masturbation. The historian is addicted to the autopsy. He dissects the corpse of his past so thoroughly that he forgets he is still alive. He mistakes insight for action. He knows exactly why he is a loser, and he wears that self-awareness like a badge of honor. But understanding the mechanism of the trap does not unlock the door. While he is busy analyzing the architecture of his cage, other men are walking free. 2. The reenactor. The reenactor is dangerous because he believes he is making progress. He enters new relationships, starts new jobs, moves to new cities. But he is not moving forward, he is moving in a circle. He is subconsciously trying to fix the past by recreating it in the present. He dates the same toxic woman with a different face, hoping this time he can win the argument he lost 5 years ago. He picks fights with his boss because he is still fighting his father. He is a soldier fighting a phantom war, firing live rounds at civilians because they remind him of the enemy. He is doomed to repeat the crash because he refuses to change the pilot. 3. The sentinel. The most pathetic of the triad. The sentinel is the man who waits. He is keeping a vigil for a reality that has expired. He is waiting for an apology that will never come. He is waiting for closure. He is waiting for the world to revert to a state where he felt comfortable. The sentinel views his loyalty to the past as a virtue. He thinks his refusal to let go is evidence of his depth, his love, or his principles. It is not. It is evidence of his redundancy. He is a guard standing watch over an empty tomb. He has paused his existence, holding his breath for a resurrection that is impossible. While he waits for the past to acknowledge him, the present runs him over. 4. The relic. This archetype has surrendered entirely. He defines himself exclusively by what he was, the high school athlete, the former business owner, the ex-husband. He introduces himself with his resume of past glories or past injuries. He has no current value proposition. He is a walking museum exhibit. He demands respect for battles fought a decade ago. He is baffled when the world ignores him, not realizing that status has a shelf life. In the hierarchy of power, what you did is irrelevant compared to what you can do. The relic is obsolete hardware in a world running new software. Which one are you? It does not matter which mask you wear, the face underneath is the same. It is the face of a man who has abdicated his throne. You have ceded your sovereignty to a timeline that no longer exists. You are not processing. You are rotting. These archetypes are not personality quirks. They are different styles of decay. Recognizing the pattern is not the cure. It is merely the diagnosis of your terminal condition.
Now that you see the cage, we must discuss the cost of staying inside it.
While you are busy analyzing the ruins of your past, the war for the present is being lost. You view your obsession with the past as a personal internal struggle. You think it is a private theater where you can replay your tragedies without consequence. This is the delusion of a prey animal. The world is not a theater, it is a dominance hierarchy. It is a zero-sum game of resource acquisition, status enforcement, and territory defense. This game is played exclusively in the immediate now. Every second of processing power you dedicate to a memory is a second you are not defending your perimeter. Every calorie of energy you burn mourning a lost relationship or dissecting a failure is a calorie stripped from your competitive engine. Understand the nature of the predator. The apex predator does not have a past. The lion does not ruminate on the gazelle he missed yesterday. If he did, he would starve. The lion exists in a state of hyper-presence. He is entirely attuned to the wind, the movement of the grass, the weakness in the herd right now. Because you are trapped in the chronological prison, you are legally blind to the threats and opportunities in front of you. You are walking through a minefield looking over your shoulder. This creates a power vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you abdicate your presence, you abdicate your sovereignty. If you are not mentally occupying your own life, someone else will. Look at your life. Look at the people around you. While you are distracted by your trauma, others are silently maneuvering to take what is yours. Your professional rival sees your distraction not as sadness, but as an opening to seize your position. Your partner senses your emotional absence not as depth, but as weakness, prompting them to look for a stronger anchor. The market punishes your hesitation. While you deliberate based on fear of past failures, the man who lives in the now executes the trade, signs the deal, and takes the resource. Nostalgia is not a sentiment. Nostalgia is a submission signal. When you signal to the world that your golden era was 5 years ago, you are admitting that you are a declining asset. You are telling the tribe, the market, and potential mates, my best days are behind me. I am no longer a threat. I am no longer a contender. You have voluntarily exited the selection pool. You have categorized yourself as a has-been before you even hit midlife. History is filled with empires that fell because they were obsessed with their own legacy rather than the barbarians at the gate. They built monuments to the past while their walls crumbled in the present. You are doing the same on a micro scale. You are building a shrine to your history while your sovereignty rots. This is the ultimate cost. It is not just that you are unhappy, it is that you are becoming irrelevant. Sovereignty requires total occupation of the moment. It requires the bandwidth to assess threats, calculate leverage, and exert will. You cannot exert will on a memory. You can only exert will on the present. As long as your brain is trapped in the past, you are a vassal state. You are a conquered territory, ruled by the ghosts of dead events. You have no borders because you aren't there to defend them. You are being eaten alive, and you are too busy looking at old photographs to notice the teeth sinking in. Stop trying to heal. The modern therapeutic complex has sold you a lie. They tell you to feel your feelings, to process your trauma, to have a conversation with your demons. This is incorrect. You do not have a conversation with a tumor. You cut it out. You do not need therapy. You need amputation. The strategy for escaping the past is not understanding. It is starvation. You must treat your nostalgia and your regret not as emotional truths, but as parasitic organisms that feed on your attention. Every time you engage with a past memory, you are feeding it blood. You are keeping it alive. We are implementing a new protocol, the cognitive quarantine. 1. Label the glitch. When a memory surfaces, that embarrassment from 2018, that heartbreak from 2021, you usually treat it as me. You identify with it. You say, I am remembering. Stop. You must reframe this immediately. That thought is not you. It is a pop-up ad. It is malware. It is a corrupted data packet surfacing from a damaged sector of your hard drive. You must view it with cold clinical detachment. Do not engage with the content of the memory. Acknowledge its presence as a system error, nothing more. 2. The 3-second kill switch. The moment the loop starts, the moment you feel the slide into the past, you have exactly 3 seconds before the chemicals hit your bloodstream. Once the cortisol floods, you are lost for hours. You must intervene in that 3-second window. You do not argue with the thought. You do not try to solve it. You sever the connection. You physically move your body. You change your visual field. You force a high cognitive load task immediately. Do math, sprint, cold water. You are essentially yanking the power cord out of the wall before the virus can load. 3. Narrative silence. This is the hardest rule and the most necessary. You are forbidden from speaking about the past. Every time you tell your story to a friend, a date, or yourself, you are reinforcing the neural concrete. You are solidifying the victim identity. From this moment on, your past is classified information. It is redacted. If someone asks about your history, you give them the summary facts, not the emotional novel. You starve the narrative. If you stop telling the story ceases to exist. 4. Emotional gray rock. You want closure. You want the memory to feel resolved. This is a trap. You will never resolve it. The goal is not resolution. The goal is irrelevance. You treat the past like a boring gray rock. It is there, but it is uninteresting. It holds no emotional charge. When the memory arises, you do not feel sad and you do not feel angry. You feel bored. This is the state of surgical detachment. You have cauterized the nerve endings. The phantom limb is gone. You are no longer carrying the dead weight of who you were. You are light, agile, and dangerous because you have nothing left to protect. You are not fixing the house. You are demolishing the haunted wing and bricking up the door.
Chapter 6. Identity Death and Replacement. We have arrived at the point of no return. Self-improvement is a scam. It implies that the underlying structure is sound and simply needs a fresh coat of paint. It suggests that you are worth saving. You are not. The version of you that is trapped in the past, the version that craves the dopamine of victimhood, the version that has failed up until this moment, that entity is corrupted beyond repair. You cannot patch the software, you must wipe the drive. This is identity death. You must accept a terrifying truth. The person you think you are is just a story you tell yourself. It is a narrative construct built on memories that are, as we have established, faulty and toxic. To become sovereign, you must be willing to kill the character you have been playing. You must commit ego suicide. This is not a metaphor for physical harm. It is a psychological protocol. It is the conscious decision to wake up tomorrow morning and view the man in the mirror as a stranger. The man who was betrayed, dead. The man who failed that business, dead. The man who was weak, buried. You are now a ghost inhabiting a biological machine. You have no history. You have no personality. You have no preferences based on past conditioning. You are a zero-point entity. This state of emptiness is what terrifies the weak. They run back to their trauma because at least their trauma feels something. They would rather be the victim than be nothing. But power lies in the void. When you are nothing, you can become anything. You are no longer tethered to the consistency of your character. You don't have to stay true to yourself because that self is gone.
You are free to select the attributes required for victory in the present moment, ruthlessly and without apology. The replacement protocol. The avatar selection. Stop asking, "Who am I?" Start asking, "Who must I be?" Does the situation require a ruthless negotiator? Download that behavior. Does it require a charming seducer? Instantiate that behavior. You are not faking it, you are operating the machine. You treat your personality like a utility belt, selecting the tool that ensures survival and dominance, then putting it away when the task is done. The amnesia as a weapon. Cultivate a strategic form of amnesia. When you walk into a room, you do not bring your resume of failures. You enter as if you were born in the hallway 5 seconds ago. You possess all your skills and knowledge, but none of the emotional debt. This makes you terrifyingly present. People will feel it. They will look for your buttons, your insecurities, your history, and they will find smooth, impenetrable glass. The burn rate. You must be willing to burn your bridges. The people in your life expect you to remain the same. They rely on your predictability. When you kill your old identity, you will disrupt their control over you. They will try to pull you back into the old script. You've changed, they will accuse. Your response is silence. You do not explain the upgrade to the obsolete. This is the ultimate liberation. You are no longer the sum of your past. You are the architect of your immediate future. You have severed the anchor. You are drifting in the open ocean of pure potential. It is cold here. It is lonely, but it is the only place where you are truly free. The old you is dead. Long live the machine.
Chapter 7. Evolve or Rot. The transmission is ending. The dopamine hit you received from hearing these hard truths is already fading. Now comes the filter. This is the point where 99% of you will fail. You will click off this video. You will click on a gaming stream or a comedy skit or a video about healing. You will slide back into the warm, comforting bath of your own mediocrity. You will return to the museum of your past because the admission is free and the exhibits are familiar. You will remain livestock. Most men love their chains. They love their trauma. They love their past. Why? Because it gives them an excuse. As long as you are a victim of yesterday, you don't have to compete today. You can point to your scars and say, "This is why I am not a king." It is a pathetic strategy, but it is a safe one. It protects you from the terrifying cold of absolute responsibility. I am not here to save you. I am here to present you with a binary choice, a fork in the road. Path A. You continue as you are. You remain a neural addict, injecting the cortisol of old memories to feel something, anything. You watch the world change while you remain static. You age, but you do not mature. You rot, and eventually you die, having never actually lived in the present moment, a ghost that haunted a machine for 80 years. Path B, you execute the protocol. You initiate the 0-point reset. You amputate the dead limb. You accept that nobody cares about your backstory. You enter the arena of the now, naked and armed only with your will. This path is painful. It is lonely. It requires you to kill the part of yourself that craves pity. But it is the only path that leads to sovereignty. The world is shifting. The weak are being filtered out by algorithms, by economics, by biological reality. The era of the sensitive man who dwells on his feelings is over. We are entering an era of absolute pragmatism. Only those who can process reality in real time will survive the selection. You have the diagnostics. You have the surgery plan. You have the weapon. The question is no longer, can you do it? The question is, do you have the stomach for it? If you are one of the few who is actually ready to sever the tether, if you are ready to stop being a historian and start being a strategist,
then you know what to do. Do not like this video. Do not leave a comment seeking validation. Subscribe. Not to support me, but to signal to the algorithm and to your own subconscious that you are now operating on a different frequency. You are aligning yourself with the data stream of power. The past is a grave. Stop digging. Walk away.